Welcome back to the Midnight Scooby Show, to the final review of 2022. It is the wintry tale from Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated, Night Terrors. Now, this story is an absolute favorite of mine from Mystery Incorporated. And, it doesn't have too much connections to the overall story of the show, but it definitely has a little ending tease. But I gotta tell you, this story, when I first watched it, a decade ago at this point, to be actually pretty terrified by it. It's a very unsettling story, and, I think that's just down to the fact that it's just this creepy little library with only a few people there in an isolated part with a bunch of snow coming down. It's just a very creepy and setting for Scooby-Doo, and I quite like it. And also the guest characters in the story are kind of creepy in a way, and you just don't know who quite is the suspect yet, but you can kind of figure it out after a while. Definitely the head librarian. You kind of understand his motives of why he would dress up as Anubis. You can kind of see it. You really can. But boy, the stuff that he does with that, the stuff he does is all kind of imaginary in a way, because he's burning this wood that induces these kind of night terrors. And it's definitely an interesting way to get people away from the library, so it'll be shut down so he can finally get a day off. But it's kind of interesting because, usually with the monsters of the week, they're just terrifying the people. And with his costume, I think he can terrify, but he adds an extra layer to get people out of this library. But let me tell you, Mystery Incorporated sure got a mystery in this one, especially because they just want a ski trip. They got a little bit, sidetracked because, of course, Avalanche, but they wish they actually got to that ski trip. But they did solve a mystery, so that was awesome. And a lot of the designs in this episode were really terrifying, like the wolf creature at the beginning to what they turned the chef into, and just seeing that train come through. And I also will say it's kind of interesting because it sets up a little interesting thing with Mystery Incorporated with the, 4 teenagers and an animal mascot, as that's happened a lot. So you can kind of get excited to see where that will head to as you watch more of the show. But definitely watching it, one episode at a time, you start questioning, where's this going? I'm really excited to see what happens. Now, I also will tell you, there's some very, like I said, with the visual imagery, but there's also a Shining reference in this episode, which I never caught before, because I never watched The Shining when this, story came out. But now seeing it, it's so cool. Just like right when Scooby-Doo opened that bathroom door, I was like, they're doing The Shining. And I never knew that before. And I really think that's what's really fun about watching these old episodes of Scooby-Doo, because you just catch so much stuff that you missed before. But yes, Night Terrors is a very unsettling, terrifying, but also perfect episode of Mystery Incorporated. It's definitely one that I really do like, because Mystery Incorporated doesn't really have a Christmas episode. They more have wintry-based episode, and the Krampus one, which is not really a Christmas one, but that one's a really clever episode. I quite like that one as well, which I'll probably talk about that one sometime in the future. But yeah, definitely recommend Night Terrors. It's a delight of an episode, and it just kind of gives it kind of an unsettling kind of vibe to it, which I really like. And yeah, I would definitely recommend it if you have not watched this one yet. So, that's the final review of 2022. I'll be back in late January for brand new reviews, but there will be a few videos popping up in the next, month and a half until the official return of reviews, so stay tuned for that. And if you have seen Night Terrors, let me know your thoughts on it in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, everyone.